Ciao tutti, buongiorno. It is Sam from Aperilife, and I am going to re-upload a video that I privated a while ago. I think re-uploading it at this particular time is important, especially when it comes to Chloe Bailey and the verbal assault that she has had to deal with, or the bullying that she dealt with recently at the hands of Miss Funky Daniva on Fox Soul. I made this video more than a year and a half ago. If you all look at it, my hair is short. I'm actually I have a brush cut in this particular video. I'm in my apartment in New York City and I'm preparing for work. And this particular video, it was a video at that time where Chloe had been bullied again in a different shape or form from a different group of people for the silliest of reasons. Her and another pop star had been pitted against each other. Of course, her being promiscuous and hypersexual has always been a large part of her being bullied throughout the industry. And I kind of go through that in this video, and I just rewatched it. I rewatched most of it, and I still stand by a lot of the things that I said today. And I think that it's valid, especially after what she just recently experienced at being bullied for really no reason on a very large platform from someone who has a very large voice. So I hope you all enjoy this video. Comment down below. It is longer than the videos that I've been recently recording and uploading. It is 50 minutes in comparison to me trying to keep my current videos under 30 minutes if possible. I would have loved to have edited this, but I think in its form, I make some really good points that do need to be said or shared, in my opinion. So I hope you all enjoy this, and I will see you all in the next video. Ciao.
Oh my God, she's sabotaging Normani. Or if Normani comes out with something right around Coco Jones, no one's saying Normani is sabotaging Coco Jones. No one's saying that.
All right, ciao tutti. It's Sam from Aperilife.
Ciao tutti. Ciao, it is Sam from Aperilife. Buongiorno tutti. Ciao, it is Sam from Aperilife, and in today's video, we're gonna talk about Chloe Bailey and her sister Halle Bailey, and also a little bit about Normani, but not really about Normani. More or less, this is going to be about Chloe Bailey and the consistent pitting her against these two people who I don't even think it's a reason to do that, but it just seems like I'm consistently seeing it. And since I did a video in the past about comparing Chloe and Normani and kind of just talking about how they're both great artists and how they should not be pitted against each other, I figured I would talk about this topic. So we're gonna do my makeup today. I do have a flight that I'm doing this afternoon. I've already toned my face. This is a brand new one, but I toned it in the bathroom with the Sephora toner. I'm going to do my makeup, get ready for work. We're in a rush, so we're going to show product, basic product, and try to do a basic face for my flight tonight. I'm going to Milan. It's the 4th of July. I'm not a fan of being in the States for really any holiday because people do firecrackers and all this crap all night long. And sometimes I want to sleep and I don't feel safe going outside because I don't know what's a firecracker and what's a gun. So this video was inspired by the Essence Fest. The sisters, Chloe and Halle, they both performed, and I love their music. They did a Tiny Desk concert during the pandemic. That was fantastic. I also have seen just a lot of their things live. During 2020, they were on it. They were entertaining us all. And it's really great because they have natural vocals. You hear them sing in whether it be a cappella or covering other covers, doing cover songs. It's just fantastic vocals that they both have. And wait, before I go into this, please like the video. Please like the video now. It really, really, really gives me some boost. And if you guys like this type of stuff, I will make more of it with commentary. But the best way to like it, for me to know that you like it, is for you to actually like it. So anyway, so I've seen their Tiny Desk concert. They have vocals which are very pure and crisp, which I can see why they were picked up to work with under Parkwood, Beyonce's talent group, or I don't know if it's like a I don't know if they're just like an agency, what I don't know if they're just like a record label. There you go. But I can see why she saw their talent. In the video that I did about Halle and about Normani, I cover basics of their background and where their start and how they were discovered. And they were discovered in two completely different ways. Now, Chloe is now breaking out into a solo artist. I think it was in 2021 where the two sisters got individual Instagram accounts. They were Chloe and Halle, Chloe x Halle for a long time. And they ended up getting individual accounts, which allowed us to see their personality individually. Chloe comes off as the big sister that is a little more sexual, a little more provocative. And Halle is the one that seems a little bit more shy. And it's so funny because as I was thinking of this video, I was just saying to myself, like, a lot of times the people who are more sexual and all that stuff, they tend to be the complete opposite in private, and the ones who are much more private publicly can be completely opposite. Like, I remember on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, everyone was saying that, you know, Cynthia Bailey is completely different than what they edit her to be on the show. So I would not be surprised if Chloe was the one that might be a little more, you know, risque, but she's the baby sister and she now is in the Disney realm. So they are keeping her rated G, rated PG, because that's the route of her career. But she is dating this guy who, I don't know if he's a rapper or what, but she is dating somebody who looks like he might be about that life. So we'll just leave it at that. So I keep seeing this thing online. Whenever Chloe does something online, there is this extreme amount of hate that she gets. And guys, it is beyond like frustrating at this point in time. People say like, oh, she's sabotaging Normani. Every time Normani comes out with a project, here comes Chloe. Every time Chloe's online and she's doing something sexual, people are like on there like hating her big time. And I'm trying to figure out why. What is the hate with this young Black woman? She's not a girl. I know that we saw them grow up and we saw, you know, I remember the first time that someone shared something of them to me, and it was the, I don't know the name of their first album, but it was the album with the, when their hair was braided together, their locks were braided together, and it was cutesy. You were like, oh, okay, these are going to be the new it girls. And it just seemed like, all right, whatever, we'll see what happens. You see tons of people who come out and, you know, they want to keep like an earthy vibe. Like I remember seeing their locks and I was like, okay, it's going to be interesting to see how the general public takes this, because they're used to, you know, baby hair, long hair, all the Malaysian, Brazilian, yaki walaki, the hair. And it's not like natural hair. So when I saw it, I was like, this is going to be interesting, because the general public doesn't necessarily gravitate towards people who look like these girls. They looked different. And of course, I'm brown skin. They're lighter than what I am. They are definitely a lighter tone, but you can look at them and you can tell that they are unambiguous Black girls. Lighter skin, yes, but they do have a wider nose. If you look at just their characteristics, there's no doubt about them being Black girls. Versus if you look at certain people and you're like, you know, there was a time where, you know, they were editing Beyonce with this blonde hair and stuff, and she almost looked like a white woman. Same thing with Nicki Minaj. They were doing this crazy editing, and I'm fans of both, but I'll never forget looking at this ad with Nicki Minaj, and I put it online and I was like, this is too much. Like, the way that they are editing her, she doesn't even look like she's a woman of African descent. No matter what you're mixed with, we're not going to 23andMe them all, but it doesn't look like she was a Black woman. I was like, this is just like way too light with the editing. Too light with the editing. So every time Chloe comes out with a project, and I have enjoyed her projects. I enjoyed Treat Me Like You Treat Me. I enjoy Surprise. I've enjoyed all three of her individual projects that she has put out. And I've also enjoyed her as an individual artist doing covers and showing us her natural talent. And I can respect that. I enjoy that. And I didn't think that it would be such an issue with an actual person who's talented showing that they're talented. Like, if this person is showing that they're talented, then why would anyone who comes about who is in the same age range or music genre, why would that be seen as competition? If anything, at least the person is showing that they authentically have this talent and deserve the accolades that they are getting. Like, to me, it didn't make any sense when I was just seeing like tons of people who would, like comment. Like, I remember the first video that she cried to, it was, and I don't remember which exact video it was, but it was like when she was kind of being like kind of sexual online, and people were like destroying her. They were destroying her. And it just seemed, guys, like so much of unnecessary hate. And I was like, all of the girls are doing this, especially girls who were inside of the child star box. Britney Spears had her crazy phase. Christina Aguilera had her crazy phase. Raven Simone kind of had like this, even though she's owned it now, but she had this crazy phase. Miley Cyrus had this crazy phase. All of the girls who were seen and or put in this box of being like child stars, they all had this kind of a crazy phase, which kind of told the public that, hey, I'm not a kid anymore. I'm a woman, and these hormones that are raging are raging. They are doing their thing, and you're going to respect me as a woman. I don't want to be seen as a little girl in that I can't like show skin or do this or do that. Like, I don't want to be seen as that. I don't want to be put into a box. And Miley Cyrus, Christina Aguilera, I don't know if it happens with boy bands, but Justin Bieber kind of had it as well, where he kind of went into like, that bad boy thing, like, oh, from baby, down to like, is he going to go to jail? Like, what the hell is he doing in Brazil? Like, they all had this type of a moment where they had to like break out of, or at least us as the public had to understand that these are not babies. These are not babies. These are adults. They now have their lives, and that they want to be respected as adults. And so when I'm looking at what's going on with Chloe, and my sister is not a fan of Chloe. And I can just tell whenever my cousin and I in a group chat, and if she's watching this, hi sister, I can always tell that in our group chat, that she does not like her. And, we talked about how, in the group chat the other day, my cousin and I, who are fans of Chloe, we talked about Surprise and how people are comparing her to Beyonce, and like she's trying to be the little Beyonce, and who doesn't try to be like their protege, their idol. Not only that, considering that Beyonce, she has direct link with her. Like, it's not like how they'll say, oh yeah, Michael Jackson trying to be like James Brown. Chris Brown is trying to be like Michael Jackson. And like, it's everyone has their idol. And the fact that she is the protege of Beyonce, like from the time that she was very little, one of the videos that got them put on the spotlight was them singing, I think it was Best Thing I Never Had or whatever from Beyonce. That's what put them on inside of on Beyonce's radar. It was very authentic. It was very natural. And it was just, I guess it was just their parents noticed they had two little girls with these talents. They didn't have, from what I understand, a connection with another celebrity, like how a lot of celebrities do. Yaya Shahidi or whatever is related to Nas. Obviously, we know Miley Cyrus is related to Billy Ray Cyrus. What's her name? Dolly Parton is her godmother. A lot of these people have like a really, really big connection to people who are big. And these girls were girls who were just discovered naturally. At least that's from what I've read, the research that I've done. It says that they were naturally discovered. If you guys know anything else, if their mom is cousins with Tina Knowles or something like that, please let me know. But from what I see, they're just two girls who were showing their natural talent, and their parents went ahead and supported them. Which, guys, a lot of white parents do. A lot of white parents, even though there is, of course, the exploiting of children and all of that, a lot of parents do that. And it's so confusing when I see, like in this case, with Chloe, every time Chloe drops something, which, okay, if it is around the time that Normani dropped something, guys, Normani's not dropping enough for us to say that it's Chloe's fault that Normani's not doing well. It's just not fair, guys. Normani barely posts anything online. I honestly thought Normani was now a socialite. I like her music. I remember listening to Motivation, and I liked Fair. I thought Fair was too slow, and I did, when she did that, I think, was it Jimmy Kimmel? When she did the live performance, I thought it was cute. But then I was like, why is she doing so much? Like, is it fair? And she was like pushing the camera and stuff. And I was like, it almost is just like how you guys say that Chloe does too much. I can understand Chloe doing a lot. She does do a lot. I am fairly able to say that Chloe does a lot, but Chloe is also consistently giving us content and, something to kind of keep her at the front of our mind, no matter how we look at it. When I look at the situation with Normani, and it was funny, I was just watching something online the other day, and somebody said this is like the 4th anniversary of Normani saying she's going to drop an album. Guys, that's funny, and it's also really sad. And not only that, Normani, being a person who is a choreographer or a great dancer, and she's a gymnast, I'm always confused as to why Normani is not online putting herself in the front on the front burner, doing dances and all this other stuff. The same way, like, people say Chloe is doing too much. I'm like, why doesn't Normani do more? And this is not a video bashing Normani, because I like Normani a lot. I actually like her. I like her music. Reading up about her and doing the video about her, I learned so much about, her and her family leaving New Orleans with Katrina, moving to Houston, how that was her new home, and then how her parents sacrificed so much for her to start her career as a celebrity. Love it, love it, love it, love it. I'm all for the Black girl magic. I am all for the family supporting their kids. I understand that she has something weird going on with the record label. I understand that, but I'm still trying to figure out, why aren't there other things she's doing? Why? How come we don't hear about Normani being a choreographer? How come I don't see Normani at any of these dance studios of people it's like the red background and everyone's around, looking at the person do dance moves. Come on, go, 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 go. Who's next? Why is it she doing this and being a trend? I just don't get it. I don't know if it's some, I understand there's support that Chloe's getting. And this goes back to Chloe. Let's forget Normani, because this is what it's about. This video is about Chloe. With the situation with Chloe, I'll never forget, I think it was Matthew Knowles talked about Beyonce, a Destiny's Child, supposed to do something with R. Kelly at one point in time. And I will never, ever, ever forget him saying that there was something about R. Kelly he did not like. One, it was too expensive. And two, he was they made sure that nobody was left alone with R. Kelly. And as we can see, R. Kelly was recently sentenced to 30 years for all of his predatory behavior. And he has more that is coming down the line. And these are two girls, sisters, that can support each other throughout their careers, whether it be mentally, which we know there are a lot of with child stars and with stars in general. There's a lot of things that can happen that can cause a person to go astray. Checking on a person's mental health is something that you cannot do enough of these days, because there's so many people who are taking their own lives, so many people that are stressed out, that don't know what to do with themselves. all of that is important. And Chloe and Halle have each other to, guys, sorry. This is the concealers I use. Concealers I used. Foundation I used. Whatever. So Chloe and Halle have each other to support each other. And it's something that who wouldn't wish that they would have two kids that were talented, that were doing well, and that are excelling and are doing it in a healthy way. So what? Chloe is being sexual. She's a sexual being. We all are people who have sex, that enjoy sex, and that she's not claiming that she's like a gospel singer. She's not saying she's a gospel singer. She's doing pop. She's doing, I think mostly pop. And she's tapping into a different realm than what her and her sister really do. They do do some pop as well. But as we know, there's more harmonies and all this stuff and slower. It's not as sexual. And it's so crazy because even when they are together, you can see how they both feed off each other's energy and how Halle is able to, we haven't seen Halle as a solo artist outside of her singing at Disney. I think it was Can You Feel the Love Tonight? We haven't seen Halle outside of that. So her being on stage with her sister, it's comforting for her. And all I see in the comments, guys, it's pretty sad. It's people saying like, oh, can't wait to see Halle's solo album. Like, oh, Halle's voice is this, which is true. But when you look at the way that it's being said, I keep feeling as if the comments are basically wanting the sisters to separate. And I would like for you all to ask yourself, why? Why would you want a sister group to kind of bump heads? This isn't Destiny's Child. It's not 3LW. It's not Escape. They're not going to have issues like that. And we can only, well, we hope that they don't have issues like that. Their careers have been very much so tied together. They did Blackish together. I don't know if they were in Grownish. They might have. But I didn't watch either of those shows. But I think they were in Grownish as college students. But they were very much so in tune with each other. Chloe brings out a different side of Halle, and Chloe being the big sister with the nurturing, bringing out the different side of Halle and supporting her. Halle also is so supportive of her big sister because she sees that they're both going in different ways. And I think that Halle is secure with the fact that she's going to be just successful on her own. And she sees that the music thing is really what her big sister wants. Halle looks like she's going to be more on the superstar stage with acting. I don't know if you guys remember that Whitney Houston said that it was The Bodyguard that put her on a global stage. She was already doing really good stuff on her own, it was in I don't know, one of the many documentaries for Whitney Houston. But she said that when she did The Bodyguard, it became a completely different type of superstardom that she experienced. Completely different. And I think that's what's going to happen with Chloe. With Halle. And it's great because both sisters, no matter what they do with this group, they can always tour as a group. And then as they both become individual artists and, focus on their individual crafts, they will be able to actually help each other by remaining to do things together. And also with individually, like, oh my gosh, right now, like if you look at groups, most people in groups that have gone separately, they do not do things together anymore. You don't see Beyonce anymore entertaining Destiny's Child. You don't see Justin Timberlake entertaining NSYNC. But you do see groups that have stayed together still be able to tour. So you look at Backstreet Boys. They did not, and I don't know if any of them tried to do solo careers, but they are still able to do stuff together. Now imagine if you have a Justin Timberlake who's successful, a Lance Bass that's successful, any of the other ones that are inside NSYNC. I was a Backstreet fan. Backstreet's back, all right. I was a Backstreet fan. But just imagine if any of the people from NSYNC were able to have a successful solo career and also still be able to tour as a group. Justin Timberlake seems like he doesn't even want to deal with NSYNC anymore. So the group, the guys who did not become successful individually, they're left to hang. Backstreet is still touring. NSYNC will not tour without Justin. He was the main star. So we're able to get the girls doing their individual things because I'm loving Chloe's individual music, but I still love that they will return to each other and do the good people and do the baby girl and do the kids are all right. All of that is like fantastic music. And because they're sisters, it will bring them back together, guys. It would totally bring them back together. And who cares? People are like, oh, Chloe she's doing too much. Please tell me, is Lotto not doing too much? Is Doja not doing too much? Like, what is the issue with it? Why are we trying to keep Chloe in this box of what we want her to be seen as? It looks like she wants to be a superstar on the global stage. And you guys know what? Being a superstar on the global stage is impossible to have done when you are in the realm that she's in that good girl realm. Y'all not supporting that. Stop it. You're not supporting that. And people globally are not supporting it. How many people do you know, especially Black women, do you know with this clean, pristine, whatever that is going on a global stage and selling out concerts? How many? I'm waiting. I'm listening. Think about it. Y'all think about it for a second. Jasmine Sullivan is very, very, very talented. Ari Lennox is very, very, very talented. They are not going around and being superstars. They're not. They just aren't. Madonna did it sexually. Fun music. Nicki Minaj did it sexually. Fun music. Obviously Beyonce, very fun music. The only person that I can think of, guys, is probably like Alicia Keys. And once again, tell me a brown girl who is able to do this. Alicia Keys is biracial, no matter how we look at it, even though she identifies as Black, her husband is Black, her children are predominantly Black, no matter what you say about it, she has European aesthetics. She doesn't have natural hair. She doesn't have brown skin. She's fair skin. Actually, Chloe looks like she's almost the same color skin as her. But if you look at Chloe and Bailey, and Hallie's mom and daddy, they look just like me. And if you look at, people who look like me who are able to do what they're doing on a global scale, guys, please tell me. Janet Jackson, she went very Miss Jackson if you're nasty. So I'm trying to understand what you guys want. You guys are not, people I keep seeing online, oh, Chloe Bailey flopped. Guys, she released a song, even Surprise, very cheap video. It wasn't all of these different scenes. Treat Me was much more expensive, you can tell. But you look at the videos, they're not super expensive. They're very fun. Surprise is a video that's a song that's a great interlude or a great break on an album, which I think that's what she did. She released a couple of really fast songs, and she brought it back with something slow, which if you think of it on an album, that's what people want. That's what you give them. We look at her online. She's doing her producing. She is creating beats. I don't understand what's the issue with her, guys. She is doing the work. People are like, oh, she's sabotaging Normani. Guys, Normani is sabotaging Normani. At this point in time, why is there nothing? We don't I'm telling you, I thought Normani was a freaking socialite. And how many other Black women are there that are also in that same realm, the same age group, that's doing the same thing? There's not a lot. So it's easy to just go ahead and attack Chloe because she's the next best thing. Oh yes, they're sabotaging Normani's release. As soon as such and such did this, she's doing this. Guys, if Normani was doing better than Chloe, would you guys have that same attitude? Probably. How about we just have fair, if you want to support the artist you want, support the artist you want. If you don't want to support Chloe, don't support her. But it's just so funny because every time this girl comes out with something, it's competition. I'm just like, the girl has to release music sometime. I would think just from an algorithm and, an algorithm type state, when they're looking at numbers or analytical state, when they're all releasing music is the best time. Oh my gosh, should we say that, oh, Beyonce is trying to sabotage Drake because she released her music right after his? Come on, guys, give me a break. Drake's album, which what they're saying right now, was strategically done during that date because it was 9 months from Kendrick. Was it Kendrick Lamar? Whoever he was having beef with. It was 9 months from his birthday. He released his last album 9 months ago, and he released the album on the guy who he was having a beef with's birthday, and the album before that was 9 months previous. So he was trying to say that the guy's his son. That's what I heard on the internet. That's allegedly. I didn't check the facts, but that's what I heard on the internet. But it sounds like something Drake would do. Why not? But either way, like, people, oh, this is a sabotage. Oh, Chloe is showing too much. Oh, and it's like, guys, come on, give me a break. The girl has pure talent. She's showing you guys pure talent. Why are you not paying attention to the fact that this girl has pure talent? She's displaying it for us all to see. Sorry, guy. She's displaying it for us all to see. And she's just like, it's not even like, I can understand like if she had like some auto tunes or something going on. Like people say, like, people act as if this girl just doesn't have the talent to sing. And I'm like, she's showing you guys that she can. So what is the issue with her releasing this music? What's the issue? What is the issue with, why would you want her to be at wit's end, like with her sister? Guys, that seems so horrible. And another thing that's so horrible about it is that I'm seeing mostly Black people do it, and that's disappointing. That's very disappointing. Why can't we just support all of the Black people, guys? Especially rooting for everybody Black, right? Especially since we already have so much of an issue. We already know that a lot of us have to work twice as hard to get to the same place. We have to. And in the realm of, what is it? I don't even know all the new artists that are coming out, but let's say you have Billie Eilish, you have that other girl, Camila Cabello. I don't know if they have the same music, but they're all like Latin looking and or European-esque, and they're all making music and they're all existing, and you see all of their fans supporting them, supporting both. That's why when you look at certain influencers and they have like millions of followers, and then you look at you can look at a Black influencer that has millions of followers, and then you look at a white content creator that has probably worse content, similar content or worse content, or not as polished content, or they're only going down one avenue. The Black person will have this, and they'll have less followers. The Black person will have less followers. I don't understand why we always talk about we need assistance or we need help or we want support, and we're not even supporting each other. We have to convince each other to support each other. And I say this as a person who is working hard as a content creator. And I have the followers that, my followers are my followers. I'm grateful for all my followers and people who support my channel. And I was just telling my mother today, I was like, I make my content, because I like to. I have not gotten a lot of followers here on YouTube. My TikTok has been pretty successful. It's been pretty decent. I haven't made the money off of it like I'd like to, or in general, really haven't made anything off of it, like some collabs here and there, but still trying to figure out all of that. Doing it all on my own. My Instagram, I just hit like 3,000 and some change, but it took me forever to get to 2,000. It took me forever to get to 3,000. It's work. It's work. There is nothing that's being handed, and I accept that. It's perfectly fine, especially when I see people who are much more successful than I am, who are also having a similar issue of, God dang it, how come she doesn't have more followers? God dang it, how come this person doesn't have any more followers? Or you're looking at people and you're like, oh, they're only following the people who have, like girlfriends that don't look like me. Or I have to get my boyfriend, even if I have decent content, I have to get my boyfriend to do a silly little prank. You're like, okay, let's do some lifestyle stuff. Let's support somebody who obviously is doing things. Because when you support the people, guys, they want to do it more. They want to do it more. Supporting Chloe, thankfully, she says that she's had, Beyonce gave her some good advice, which was not to look at the comments on social media. In that one time that she had like that really emotional breakdown online, and her sister, this is during the time where her sister was in Europe shooting The Little Mermaid, and she was in the States holding it down for Chloe and Halle, the group. She was holding it down, guys. I don't know if you guys remember. I don't know if you guys remember, but her sister was overseas. They were doing all these lives. It was still during the quarantine, like height of the quarantine time and all this stuff. And they were like on live crying about how they missed each other. And it was so sweet because this was their first time apart. And not only that, not just like missing your sister and being apart. If you look at what their group kind of like represents or has been thus far, they have been each other's support system. They have been each other's support system. And one could only dream to have such a support from family members that are just as successful. I don't know if you guys remember this. Naomi Campbell, she came on the Tyra Banks show when Tyra Banks had her own show. And she talked about how she was at times envious of Tyra Banks because Tyra's mom traveled with her. And her mom basically sent her out into the modeling world on her own, and she had to figure things out as a dark-skinned woman. And if you look at I don't know the name of the YouTuber, but you guys can look it up. There's somebody who talks about, I think she said we owed Naomi an apology or something, but there's a woman who talks about Naomi and how Naomi was so trailblazing and how, her white friends supported her and allowed her to shine. And the situation where her and Tyra, the envy or whatnot was that the industry was pitting them together. It had nothing to do with the two girls. The industry was pitting them together initially, which is what did eventually start some type of a disagreement or feud between the ladies. But it started with outside sources being petty. And, now they love Naomi and Tyra doesn't have so much support like she used to, especially after all those America's Next Top Model things came out of how she, people reviewed some of the old footage and Tyra was so crazy and insensitive to the culture. And Naomi is the loved one at this point in time. But Naomi talked about how Tyra had her mother there to support her and Naomi did not. And that was so big for her because she was on her own. And she was, like, I don't know if she used the word envious, but that's what I took from it. So how great would it be to have two young ladies that are there to protect each other? When you look at the system with R. Kelly, when you look at that, a lot of those girls, their parents, whether they say they didn't drop their kids off or not, but a lot of those girls, they were out there with R. Kelly on their own. And he preyed on people who had parents who knew that their kids wanted fame, the girls would sneak out for them. He was able to manipulate their mind. They didn't have anyone to talk to say, does this sound weird to you? This sounds weird to me. Everybody was in a trance with R. Kelly. So to have two sisters that can protect each other in this industry that we all know at times can be very volatile, very predatory, very just very harsh, especially to Black women. They really want to exploit you. They really want to take advantage of you. To have a sister there to support that, guys, why would you all want to sit there? Oh, I can't wait for Halle's album. The amount that I see that, guys, and I'm sorry, I know there are some people who really cannot wait for Halle's album, but I cannot help but look at it and just say, why does this seem so divisive? Because Chloe hasn't released an album yet either. Why does this seem so divisive, so disingenuous? It's a shame. Once again, you only see it. At least I've only seen it. Or maybe I can just say you mostly see it in the Black community. And we have to do better, guys. We have to support our artists. We have to stop pitting people against each other, especially Black women, guys. If we look at all of the rappers that are supported, little this, little this, little this, little this, little this, young this, young that, young this, young this, young that. And they're all the same and they are all being able to thrive. All the same. Why can't Chloe and Halle exist? Was anyone saying that when Tyrese released an album and Tank released an album and Genuine released an album that they were all going against each other? I really doubt it. I honestly doubt it. So it's just so horrible, guys, that I keep seeing this. It's frustrating. What time is it? It's only 2 o'clock. I got time. It's frustrating because I can look at these two women, and when I see like them together, which I love seeing them together, when I see them together, and I see Hallie, it seems like she knows like how vicious people on the internet are. And I think I'm gonna put a little bit of sparkle on my eye, even though I'm gonna wear glasses. Still gonna put a little sparkle. Last minute decision. It looks like she's doing it to like, one, give her sister the thumbs up of supporting her, doing her individuality. And you even see like Hallie inside the videos where she's kind of like getting out of her shell as well, which you want. You want them to get out of their shell and to have fun and to perform. And Chloe is getting into her performance thing. And you can see her sister giving her the thumbs up to explore in that way. And I'm sure she's doing it because she knows, they're aware. If it happened once, it's happening again. And I'm sure she's aware of all the vitriol that her sister gets. And she's like saying like, hey, I am giving you this thumbs up to be yourself, to be fun, to be sexy, to just exist, and to not worry about what these people are saying, which is such a beautiful thing for sisters. It's a beautiful thing for sisters. And it's also a beautiful thing that us as the public, whether you be white, black, purple, whatever, even though those are not colors, white or black, but specifically black, for you, those are not colors of people, excuse me. For you as a black woman to just go, or black person, to support these girls the way that they're needed to be supported. You guys have no problem with all of the other girls doing the same thing. And if you think that Chloe and Hallie, if you're thinking of role models just on a grand scale, they're great role models. They are great role models for what they're doing and what their careers are like. And when you hear them speak, it's so eloquent. It's so educated. You can tell that their parents took the time to instill certain values in them. And once again, not saying that all the other girls do not have this, but you see it, and it's so refreshing to see because they're able to explain themselves, and you can see that they have creative control. Once again, when you look at these girls, they're on like the mixer. They are making their music. There is nobody back there producing it, whatever. There's some, but you can see that they can do it on their own. They have input. We haven't seen that with many people. So I don't see, if we haven't seen that with many people, what is the issue when they decide to give you all of their talent? I get it. She's not a gymnast. She's not this. She's not that. This is in regards to Chloe. But dear God, that girl is so talented. She's so talented. And they're beautiful. With their hair, they have found wonderful ways to style it, to be diverse with it. I think it's wonderful how their hair is. Absolutely wonderful. And I think that us as a society, I think my lipstick's over there. That's how it looks so far, guys. I think us as a society, us as a community, black people are always talking about community, right? Us as a community need to support them. Support them. Support the Normani, support the Hallie, support the Chloe, support the Coco Jones. Like, no one's sitting there saying whenever Coco Jones comes out with something, oh my God, she's sabotaging Normani. Or if Normani comes out with something right around Coco Jones, no one's saying Normani is sabotaging Coco Jones. No one's saying that. No one is saying that. And I just think it's so crazy. It's so disingenuous. Like, just say you don't like Chloe. Just say that. If you don't have a reason, fine. But don't sit here and make it seem as if Chloe is making it bad for Normani. Chloe needs to stop. She's doing the most. Not classy, not this, not that. So what? So what? They're women. They are women. And as you can see, even from their, how their costumes are, They're showing a little more skin. They're doing it different. You know, they've got like the TLC, Destiny's Child, Escape. You guys know all the girl groups were like the same thing, but like same fabric, cut different ways. They're being so supportive of each other. Okay. They're so supportive of each other, guys. And it's such a beautiful. These are different. Let me change it, do this a little bit. They are different. You guys can tell. Probably not, but I can tell. They are so supportive of each other, and the fact that you have two women that are related and that are doing this together, it will allow them both to flourish and continue, like literally continue to be successful. There is no reason that they can both not exist in the same realm. There's no reason why they can't. Why can't they? Why can't they both actually support each other and do their thing individually and together? Look at when Beyonce's by herself and then she comes with the group. Even though they didn't do their, I mean, they weren't so like they weren't so sexual or anything like that, but sorry, I heard someone outside. But we can't deny that when you come together, one stands out a little bit more, especially the one who really focused and that did well as a solo artist. And as of right now, that solo artist is Chloe. And I love that they're able to come together, and there's no jealousy that you see. There's no animosity. Like, they are both thriving, guys. Both thriving. We should all be very, very proud of them. There should not be this jealousy or anything. We should all be very proud of two young ladies who are not being exploited by the industry that we know of. I will have to put, I just bought some eyeliner. I want to put it on under. Oh no. Guys, this is how my makeup's looking thus far. I don't know if you can tell so much by the light. Okay, let's see if I lower this. That's the lowest it'll go in the setting. All right. But they both look healthy. They both look so happy. You know, they are just like doing their thing, guys. And I really look at this thing right there. It needs to get blended in. Blend. And I really would just like that all of us just support them in all of their ventures, because they're going to do big things. And whether we like it or not, and I think this maybe, you know, I really wish that for them, I would like for this to happen. And it's unfortunate, but if you look at people like Beyonce, Janet Jackson, all these people, they are big with communities of the outside the Black community. They went into actually making themselves a name in the white community, in the Latin community. They're doing world tours, and you know, them being under Beyonce's label will definitely give them world tour, world exposure, because when Beyonce travels, I know that she does travel with them. I'm not exactly sure if they've gone out of the country with her, but I do know that they've opened up certain cities for her in the States. And let me tell you guys, it is not their fault that they were discovered and signed by a great and fantastic record label. No one sits there and says that they wish that Mario had got discovered by the people that Justin Bieber did. They're both very talented and successful men, But the fact that Justin Bieber was able to have a different label with different access to different people and different network, discover him versus a Mario or versus even Omarion and his group, whatever like that. That's just how life goes. The situation with Normani went from a girl group that had a bad breakup to now being a solo artist and not being under a label that's supporting her. It's not Chloe's fault that she has a label that's supporting her. It's just not. It's just not. And we have to stop punishing or attempting to punish or bring people down a notch because they have had a certain level of blessings that they've received. You know, I want to say lucky or whatever like that, whatever you want to call it, lucky, blessings. She had a praying grandmother, whoever, whatever. It's not her fault that she has had that and that she's been able to actually monopolize on it. And not only that, she has the actual talent that she's able to go out and even show us more and more. Because some of these girls, they have to have somebody write for them. They have to have someone produce for them. These girls are sitting at home doing it on their own. And that type of drive, that hunger, is something that any artist would love to have. Would love to have. Yes, I can sing. Yes, this is my whatever. But I also would like to be able to write. I also be able to produce, to play an instrument, all of that stuff. If you look at Whitney Houston's catalog, I don't believe Whitney wrote really any of her music. Also, I don't think that Whitney produced much. I'm not going to say all. But if you looked at her in comparison to a Mariah Carey, if you look at a person like a Babyface, who is a writer, a producer, and a musician, like just instruments, also a singer, he's going to be able to be much more successful than someone who is not. So guys, that's it. That's the video. I'm going to continue getting ready for work. I don't think I'm going to be able to upload this tonight because I have to do a quick edit of it. It's 2:28. I got to be to the airport at 4:45. And I think maybe tomorrow or sometime this week, I will upload this. I seen some of the clips from the Essence Fest with Chloe and Halle, and the quality is much better than the Nicki Minaj quality. I was so bummed that I was not able to see Nicki. Hulu really dropped the ball with that. Really dropped the ball. So anyway, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you feel about this topic. Or if you agree with me, disagree with me, I am welcome to all respectful commentary down below. And yeah. What do you guys think of my makeup? I know I'm not a professional at it, but I gotta put mascara under this one, but this is basically how it looks. So, ciao tutti. Have a great night. Safe fourth, that too.